Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, I'm going to share with you how my upcoming plan for integrating XR AI and also apply to senior enhanced memory improvement. Okay, so let me share with you my screen. Okay, so recently I've published a book called Spatial Design Breaking the 2D Paradigm. And so far, we got great feedback, and a lot of people benefit from it. So if you want to learn UX design in XR, I wrote 10 principles, spatial design principles, and those will help you to create a great experience design in spatial design. So so far, we got a lot of high rank and a lot of recommendation on LinkedIn and also social media. So make sure check it out, and I will share the link on the kind of like down the feed, and also on my LinkedIn profile. It has the link as well. So make sure you check it. The other thing is that if you want to get access to the LinkedIn to the source code, or you want to get the access to the Zoom, LinkedIn Live Zoom link, and speak with the instructor, make sure you support us on Patreon. We had a lot of different episodes every week. So make sure you sponsor us, or you help us to grow. Yeah, and appreciate your sponsorship. And today I am going to share with you how what's the next for the Skillshare project. I want to create something that is more project based. And since I am going to speak at AWE, and I will prepare a live or recorded video demo, and I want to create something that using spatial AI or use XR to help an industry or help a user create useful or practical scenarios. Because for me, I think game, every developers, their motivation is creating games, or the reason why a lot of people get into XR is because of games. But we know that right now in the game industry, it's not doing really well. So that's why I personally think that why not, since the industry, you see, like at GDC, I saw that it's an elephant in the room types of issues that we all know that, and nobody's really addressing it. I know there are some panels talking about it, and people shout out in the garden or in the open space and trying to emphasize that a lot of layoff, a lot of things that a lot of the game developer is seeking for jobs, or people are trying to figure it out what can they do. But I believe that if we can use our strength, our development skills, helping other industries to bridge the gap. For example, game, if you are a game developer, you can do gamification, which means that you are gamify other industry, make other industry have a better application using spatial AI. I think this is a way out. And today, after this Skillshare, we will have our first podcast, which we will start featuring other industry needs, or other industry leaders to talk about what's their needs. So that's what I am about to do, because I saw there are so many seniors, or there are so many, I would say, other industry people. They want to make their industry fun. For example, healthcare. Recently, I've been speaking with a researcher in Stanford, doctoral programs. She told me that she is very, very into UX design and product design because she saw there are a lot of gap in education curriculum, in medical training. And she wanna do it everything on her own, even though she's from healthcare background, but she wanna create product. And I told her that that's perfect because in our group, we are a bunch of amazing UX designer and also developers trying to find something. So that's why I am about to launch something that I think a lot of people are doing, but not, I would say, not something that I see that, for example, um, if you think about some like a workshop partner with other industry uh, subject matter experts, I haven't really seen anything pop to my mind that something makes me very impressive. So that's why I think maybe I know a lot of people are doing it, but I think we can do more and focus on it. So that's why if you see a podcast, before we were doing a lot of speaker events, but now we are switching to more like UX, UI, and also XR is our base. And we have these skills. How can we use these skills and learn something else and combine with it? So our stuff will be very broad. And also, I would say, yeah, it's also part of my personality. I love learning new things as well. So I think this is a great move. And also it means that we will have a lot of like a project based, and also our podcast is very, I would say, pioneer. Why? Because we are going to interview a lot of people that doesn't really know XR, and we have to explain what's XR. So there will be a lot of brainstorming sessions in the upcoming podcast. So that's also my goal, is to see how we can leverage or lead all the XR creators, kind of trying to find some gigs, especially for young folks, right? Young students who recently graduate or prepare to graduate. The world is changing, and all the teachers or all the industry or like all the environment is not teaching them how to respond this. So I want to kind of help out and see how I can kind of lead a lot of people find their own way, find their own path. Okay, cool. So let's dive into today's Skillshare. Oh, okay, press the wrong button. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you my upcoming project that is enhanced reality AR glasses tailored for seniors. Yeah, the tagline is called "Never Forget the Names of My Grandchildren." Yeah, so this is something that I will dedicate myself for the next month or next 2 months. And hopefully, because I haven't really seen any existing products feature this, one of the reason is because first, the really lightweight AR glass hasn't been invented yet. It's Apple's vision. Tim Cook wants the AR glass very lightweight and very easy to wear. And also, for example, I kind of went through Meta Quest 3, and for passing through, I did the technology audit. The passing through Quest 3 developer cannot get the information for it. So for example, if I do the live streaming of my room in right now mixed reality headset, I couldn't really do the object recognition yet. I believe because I heard a lot of requests to Meta or to other big companies about requesting the video stream on the environment. It will happen, but not right now, because there are a lot of privacy issues. So that's why there might be a chance that the final product will be using the camera, but there might be another conceptual ideas I use like a kind of motion graphics and trying to comp. But I'm trying to push the uh, technology boundary and also push myself to see what I can do with the current technology. Pretty much pushing the edge and see what can we do with the current SDK and also headsets. So that's what I am about to work on. And right now I'm looking at my phone and see if there's anyone has any suggestions. I'm open to discuss. Okay, so far nobody is leaving any comments. So okay, so I will start. Okay, so the background. Um, I think it's very important for XR to address some industry or some I would say some problems or some gaps. Sometimes as a designer, as a developer, what we focus is what's the newest tools, what's the newest functions, what can I do with these tools? But our product, our project doesn't have any meanings. So at the end, after showcase, we just what I would say is digital trash. Pretty much we just store it somewhere and we move on and keep showcasing how cool the product or the feature is. So that's why I think it's so important to leverage our skills and then working with somebody who knows some other industry, the other industry's expert, and developer work with them and make kind of help the user or help the user in other industry uh, to solve their problem. I think that's the way. My guts told me that's the way. So my personal experience, I start diving into like what AR or what spatial AI can help, like just my personal experience. So the background is my 85-year-old grandmom frequently mistake me of my aunt. Yeah, like before, every time when I went back to my grandparents' house, my grandmom always call my name wrong or misunderstand or like mistakes me of someone else. So that's why I think this is probably a really good way to design using spatial AI because I think yeah, this will help her. But I think the headset needs to be so lightweight and so easy to use, maybe integrate with her reading glass. Something very lightweight, very easy, and no motion sickness. So she would like to wear. I think this one is still this AR headset that ChatGPT generate is still too large. But you got my idea that grandmom so sorry. Sometimes they have some, I would say, they couldn't recall because, for example, my grandmom has a lot of children, like 5 children, and all the 5 children have 2 or 3 different sub children, and the sub children have a couple of children. So that's why grandmom, when people grow old, either they got Alzheimer. Alzheimer causes probably 70-80% of dementia. So people start losing their memories. And I think this types of AR glass, if we can make it very lightweight, we can definitely help family members to remember like small things. And I can tell you because I mean, it's very easy to get distracted in this world right now. Even young people, sometimes I forgot what I should do just because of the I would say short attention span, or for some reason this world is just everything want to grab your attention. So I think everybody might need one just to tailor to each person's daily task. It might really help me to, for example, put all my personal information or sync my Google Calendar, something as simple as that, to become an AR glass. So, For example, sometimes I will forget about meetings or forget about somebody told me to do something and I just forget. So if there's something that kind of a memory enhancement for even people who doesn't have Alzheimer or dementia, I think that would be really helpful. But that thing cannot be too intrusive, and things need to be optimized. And also, people don't like to wear glass, right? Because it's if it is too heavy, it needs to be so comfortable that it's not something blocks your eyes. So there are still some fine lines. And will you wear it every day or only during work? Because I used to wear glasses, and now I did laser, so my eyesight is healthy. But the reason why is because wearing glass is miserable, and when you eat stuff and it has a lot of everything will block you, so it's very uncomfortable. So how can we make this a necessary product and also really help people to enhance their memory and also, yeah, make it useful for people? So I think this is a really good scenarios, because if my grandmom can start recognize or improve or help out to kind of a reminder for her. For example, if when she wear the AR glass, she can see this person and with some UI, right? For example, wow, what's this grandson's name? And maybe some pictures of the grandson and the grandmom. So just help out to recall the memory. And the other thing, maybe the other panel is some 3D object. I still think that I personally don't like 2D square types of UI because we've already in the immersive space. I want something to be so tangible. I want something to use your hand, drag and drop, instead of we've already get out of the 2D screens. Why we need buttons? Why we need menus? Why we still need those types of rigid 2D structure? We can totally get out and be innovative. So that's my philosophy. So I want to put some 3D. I hope I can do it, but if technology is not allowed, then that's wait. I will do some types of mock-up just to help people to kind of feel like this is something that we need to go towards. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of my next project. Today, I will just show you what I'm thinking and for next following one. So this one will be purely talk about ideas. And if you have any, I would say, comments, just post on the chat, because I will constantly, I'm trying constantly check the chat. So if you have anything that you agree more or disagree, feel free just to post on the live chat. Okay. So what is Alzheimer's disease? Yeah. Alzheimer's disease basically is your brain. There's something happen, plagues, and then it's your memory start shrinking and your memory brain cells start dying. Yeah. And according to what I read, there are a couple of reasons. The most important, like the most prominent, is genetic. Your DNA, imagine DNA is kind of a blueprint of your entire body. How imagine your body is an architecture. I mean, I'm kind of more like outsider talking about what I understand. So if something was not exact, feel free just to leave the comments. So your DNA, there was something I remember when I read something that there was one reason that there's a certain kind of like a terms called or a protein called amino acid. There are hundreds of millions of way of folding, and one of the reason why is that some protein or some DNA thing that was not constructed right. So that's why it's kind of make the entire building system of your body go wrong. So one of the reason is that it's probably because of aging or because of genetic or because of some environment. For example, if you always feel too stressed, or if you always feel negative, or there are a couple of different reasons, but I think Alzheimer is the majority of reason why seniors start losing their memories. And this thing is one way and cannot go back, which is kind of sad. But I believe that if our technology can help us to rejuvenate or help us to enhance the memory, that would be great. Because if you see that it's a gradual decline in memory, thinking, behavior, and social skills. So, and I recently I listened to some Alzheimer podcasts. It seems like Alzheimer, this types of brain, it will prioritize the newest memory and preserve the old memory. So, for example, if the memory starts shrinking, it will shrink something that you just done, like very prioritize the most recent one. So a lot of Alzheimer patient, they have original, for example, they have some thinkings. Some of them are still smart and can solve the problem, but they just lose the recent memory, and due to these types of facts, so they gradually decline memory, thinking, behavior, and social skills. So I think the spatial AI can really help people to start enhancing or remind them. But I would think that because of privacy issue, so that device need to be standalone device, not syncing on the cloud and for other people to share. I don't want my entire personal or what I'm thinking or reminder to be shareable online. But it might be it also reminds me, or I think we need to structure our data. For example, self-governance data. My data, I control it, and it's storage in local, and it only share when I allow somebody to access. I think that types of self-governance, like a storage things that is not shareable, but maybe I can make myself a language model, an AI language model, and I can, for example, my families, I allow them to see, right? Only a limited access, not global access, not putting on Hugging Face and everybody can see it. So my upcoming one, I will pretty much share. If there is some privacy issues, I might not be able to share some process just because I made myself a language model, and that model I don't want to share with anybody, but I can share with you how I train it. So later on, you can get your own photo and train you as a model. Yeah, that's what I can do. So yeah. The other one, I did a super quick concept. I think right now, I think we are in the era of like a Black Mirror or sci-fi types of era. So what I'm thinking is that when a grandma I would say wear the AR glass, when they see different family members and there will be something pops up just to help the grandmom or help seniors to recall who is this person, and this is kind of like I think if my grandmom see those types of things, she will know who I am and also know a little bit, so she can start having kind of like, oh, recall who I am and start talking to me, and recognize me as who inside her memory, kind of like I would say a bridge, a connection, a reminder, that types of things. So for example, when the grandmom wear the AR glass, and she will see me, or like this is just I make it up, right? So for example, she has a grandson, and she will see UI panel, I'm still trying to avoid that 2D thing. Sometimes it's unavoidable, right? Because I mean, we all familiar with that. But I think in 3D space, I'm trying to eliminate the 2D UI. So yeah, I mean, Vision Pro, Apple Vision Pro is overkilling with the UI, even though people think the 2D UI is beautiful. But I think I talked to some Apple kind of engineers. They told me that right now they are just trying to bring the Apple Store assets or app into a spatial design. So you can see a lot of things still. Like you wear a Mac in front of your eyes. What's the point, right? But later on, they will slowly, if you see right now what they are trying to do, they are trying to break the 2D thing into 3D. Yeah, so I do really think that for me, since I believe that 2D will start become 3D, and that's just eliminate the 2D UI, trying to make it 3D, as 3D as possible. So for this one, I would try to make it somehow integrate with the environment and not just, 2D interface. And on the other side is probably, for example, this grandson's name and what's the exact title and some photos just to remind. And on the other hand, I want to put the goal is to put 3D, virtual 3D object, right? Make, for example, baseball, for example, some trophies, for example, some habits, right? For example, the grandson likes to paint, right? And if you kind of grab or touch, right? Grab or touch, then those stuff probably will turn something. For example, like a videos or something. I still don't know, but these icons can kind of become a reminder of this person, what this person good at, or what this person love doing. So this is something that I can think of. If you have any comments, feel free to just put your comments. Peter, this would be a great for all ages when it comes to put names to rare scene face. Yeah, and I also think this can be a conference app. For example, I went to GDC, right? And people who love to share at least some business card, like, oh, this person is named Tom. I don't know. I just made it up. Or named Peter, right? And maybe everybody who wants to see, there's a settings, right? For example, I want to see who might be my potential person that I want to talk to, right? Or who wants to it's like in the show, if you can see that person, and sometimes I have to just dive into the name tag, and so that's how I want to call somebody's first name even though I haven't seen that person. I want to call that person's name so it seems more friendly. So if I can do that, that would be awesome. So yeah, so for example, I wear a glass and I say, hi, Peter, da 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 da, without having a formal introduction. When I wear that glass, I've already know some stuff of you. I know your first name, right? I know your first name, or I know what you are looking for, or I know what you are good at, right? Just like first impression. Or you can turn it off, right? Or you can kind of like it's kind of a filter or something that it's not, you go there and you see nobody, and sometimes when people like put their tag or it's hard to see their tag and you kind of feel like, I know you just remind me of your name, but I really forgot after 5 seconds. So it might be a great reminder and also help us to carry on a conversation. So you can see these types of device in sci-fi movie, right? It's not a new thing. It's always, we all know this when we see sci-fi movie, it's so it is part of a sci-fi norm. But I think in real life, if we really implement to something that is helping us for the reminder, that would be great. So I think senior is good, but it also reminds me of one of the principles in my book. I mentioned diversity and also accessibility. So if we can design a memory reminder tellers to old or senior people, then this you see the personal spectrum in Microsoft XR kind of user accessibility, like the document. If you read that book, I put all the link there. So if you see that, if we design for the extreme case for accessibility, we can broaden all our horizons to all the other scenarios, such as in the conference, right? We want to see whose name, right? We want to see who we recognize, right? So those, I would say, sometimes I know that for user experience design, right? I've been teaching, I would say boot camps, or been teaching UX for probably 4 years. And now I'm also kind of associated with like some speaker events with UX design. I think a lot of people, when they think of UX, they would like, oh, persona, da, 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 da. Just like there's a set of checkbox you need to fit. But for me, is that as long as you can communicate well, when people see something, your presentation, they know what you are talking about and they can resonate it. I think you are good. But I think it's not about the entire whatever the list that UX need to put, but I would say it's a way to communicate. As long as you are solving the problem and that product is something that everybody want to use, and it's very easy to understand and very easy to use without explanation. Sometimes I would think that UX designer trying to create a lot of panels, because if you don't have any panels, then then they lose their job. Their job is pretty much create a bunch of nice, beautiful pixel designs. But I think reducing the panel um, is the goal for UX designer. So the less screens that you design, the more success you are. So that's my thought. But I know that a lot of juniors, in order to showcase how good your layout skill is, you have to create a bunch of them, which for me is even harder to use or a necessary process. But I think this is just a learning process. So for me, I would like to do something that doesn't really have any pixel or 2D design, which is kind of not not what a lot of like 2D junior level people who are seeking for to put their portfolio. But I think this is, since the world is changing to more like a integration. So I think understanding the technology and also see what's the best usage. It doesn't have to be Figma. It doesn't have to be 2D panel, exact like what you imagine, like a million of screens that tab. So that's also what I wanna mention, that understanding technology, understanding how technology works is much more important than putting a lot of screens and showcase how good your Figma skill is. Yeah, that's my personal thoughts. Cool. So the goal is to create a functional prototype that utilizes spatial AI, demonstrating the application of AR glass for seniors to recognize their family members. So in this, so far I know there might be a lot of people trying to accomplish this goal. And so far, I would say the device and also privacy issue, also the AR glass is not light enough for people to really want to wear. So there are a lot of like technology limitation, but I think it just showcase what we can do, even though, for example, at the end, the final product is, I couldn't even hack into the headset. I think it's still fine. I can show like the camera, my webcam, and just to demonstrate what I intend to do. And when the technology or the hardware is ready, we can kind of slowly integrate it. And I believe that the world is starting to do this, right? You see like Meta, recently I saw Meta is training. They probably have been doing this for a long time. partner with, I would say, more than 100 institution, research institution or school education, trying to record videos to let the large language model learn the skill behavior. For example, if I fall off, right? Like there will be tons of people who has different way of falling off or different way of cooking. So if the large language model is not only detect the still image, but also detect the actual movement with an intention of action or behavior, I think slowly we will have more and more AI models that allows us to recognize what's going on. And this types of AR glass really helps senior people to enhance or to help them remind what they like. Sometimes for me it's also helpful because I just forget a lot of things. So it serve as kind of like a reminder or serve as something that help us to recognize. That would be awesome. And all the data need to be storage in I would say secure or in privacy, due to privacy issue, need to only be shared with people that we want to share. We don't want to have other, third party ads jump in. Yeah. So I think privacy is important. Okay, so my plan. I want to develop a personalized model, AI model for an individual. And right now, I think it will just be me. And if it is just be me, then I might not be able to share my own photos, right? I probably can share with you where I did and all the source link, but later on Patreon for this training, because it's very personal things. So all the models, I encourage you to change later on when I do Skillshare. If you happen to support us on Patreon, a lot of like personal images, I will highly recommend you to follow the video and swap to your own photos for the training. Not using mine because I don't want my model to be all over the internet. Okay, the second one is capture videos or live streaming footage from a camera to identify the model. The thing about it right now is Quest 3, uh, you couldn't really get the pass through because you know that for mixed reality, you can totally cast in your environment. But right now, for Quest 2, you couldn't really hack it and get the environment data, which means that if I want to wear Quest 3 and I want to recognize all the object, for example, like right now, I think a scene capture, right? Scene capture, but scene capture is the internal types of device assets. It's not really open to for developers to work. Like for example, I insert my own model in, and when I scan my room, I can recognize a unique AI model in my room, and it's personalized, personal, or like a personal trained AI model. It's not open yet. I believe it. When we start pushing this types of concept, if a lot of people doing it, and a lot of people write to big companies and say we need this feature, maybe this will open, right? So right now it's not there yet. So that's why I think that if at the end, I still couldn't hack into the Quest 3 headset. I might just use, my webcam to stream the video textures, the 3D model, and start kind of testing things out. It's like testing out the technology, but not actually putting the final device because device has not been invented yet. So it's just trying to push and see what we can do with the current technology. And number 3 is present the user interface and 3D information of person in Quest 3. I think it's very important to start integrate with 3D. If you see some sci-fi movies, normally it's a 2D panel, but I think instead of click the button out there, right? For example, if there's a 2D panel and there's a button, and if you are trying to click it, why not just grab it and see the actual 3D model? Because that's more like I would say in real world. For example, if you see this cup is 3D and I can grab it, and everything is grabbable, right? For example, like in MetaQuest, the SDK 62 right now, you can see you can grab with 2 fingers, or you can grab with your whole hands, or you can tap things. All those like affordance are being designed. So I want to make things that is so natural that you don't even need to learn, because GUI, you need to learn what's menu, what's icon, what's button, right? For example, what types of technology need to be learned versus what doesn't have be learned. If you put your, iPhone for your cat, for your dog to play, if your dog can play without any UI, that means it's so intuitive, right? If your cat, for example, long time ago I saw one like on TikTok. There was a cat trying to catch a fish. Yeah, and the cat was playing the game, and it's just fish swimming, and you need to use your paw or use your hand to catch, right? Um, that game cat can play, the actual pet, the cat can play. So I want to make the UI so intuitive that I don't need a tutorial. For example, your grandma, right? Your grandma might not be the tech person that knows, oh, the gear icon is the setting, the head icon is profile. She might confuse, like, what's this? And all the meaning behind the icon that she has to learn. But if I just show something that doesn't even, like Brandis, your dog knows it, right? If your cat knows it, that's something that you don't have to learn. So I wouldn't suggest to put any icon or any GUI stuff, just like something that's so tangible. I'm still trying to do it. I don't even know how this works. I mean, I just have the ideal things, but we will figure it out when time goes by. So I want something so tangible, floating in around that person, just for a reminder. But there might be some toggles on the actual device you can toggle and make it dismiss, because it's kind of distracting. So yeah, see if I can make a 3D. If not, then let's go back to 2D. It's like our intention is to break 2D things, trying to make everything 3D. But if the technology is not allowed, then let's just go back to GUI. Yeah, so that's the goal. Okay, so weekly tests. So because for me, I like to make everything a list and cross it out, and that makes my life very, very satisfying. Okay, so weekly task. So first, what I'm thinking is that this week I'm just showing my concept. Yeah, it takes some time just to know what's the technology and know what can be done, and potentially, I think I'm drawing a circle that is slightly larger than what I know. I would say very large than what I know, and I'm trying to reach to that kind of edge, right? And then as far as I research, a lot of hardware device SDK was not support what I'm I'm my plan, but I would love to just try my best, and if not, then find out the alternative way. But I will create maybe some motion graphics. I can tell you, everything right now I'm doing is that I probably don't have the prior knowledge, but I believe that if you want to do something, you can always get it and figure things out along the way. So this is just more like the conceptual thing, and I know people needs it. Yeah, sounds like a form this. Oh, okay, cool. Sounds like a form this maybe. Okay, so Joe, I'm reading your thing, your comments on on the chat or on my phone, so I couldn't really click it. But yeah, feel free to, share your thoughts. And yeah, so next week, what I will do is I will create a custom AI model of a person, which is me. Because I feel like who wants to make a model of him or herself with right now the data is so easy to leak, right? So yeah, I hope yeah, this will work, and I will just experiment. I will take myself like a couple of images, and since I love taking selfies, so I have a lot of selfies in my phone. So I will do all those and train a model. And the following week, I will run a live streaming videos to YOLO 8. Before, for the past weeks, we've been exploring YOLO, right? I really like how YOLO's doing, which they were giving everything free, kind of free, yeah, and open source. So yeah, this is great. And OpenCV, I think they have a lot of great open sources, and they have a lot of very expensive education courses. So yeah, so see how I can kind of integrate all the current open sources to just get it. And the following one, when I design, the AI model, I want the display to be 2D and 3D. I haven't really done the customized information display. So yeah, we will figure out together. Yeah, so and the last one is figure out a way to display through AR glass. So far, Quest 3, I mean, I hope, I heard that Orion AR glass from Meta will launch at the end of this year. I hope it can launch as soon as possible. So this concept, I think it might be able to, to work with that device, because that device is the most advanced one. So yeah, or Apple Vision Pro Lite, the half price, 50% off, in the slightly less expensive Apple Vision Pro will be launched pretty soon. So see which one works. And I really think of maybe this year, next year. Right now, this concept is hard because all the restriction of the current technology or AI model training thing. But I believe probably next year, or 2 years from now, I think this probably somebody already made it a very easy platform thing that I imagine I go to this platform, right? And that platform will have, all I need to do is, for example, I just upload a bunch of my like 20 of my different angle of pictures, and it will generate a model, and I can upload my social media there, right? And it will start generate some 3D icons or 3D models. So when somebody wear that glass, they can associate me. It can also serve as a business card, right? So I know that there are a lot of people doing like a QR code and download an app and trying to scan and see your business card. That's too much of a work. If it is a wearable, you go to a conference, right? And you wear it, and a lot of people, and you can also advertising yourself, but some people can also turn off for filter some other people to eliminate some information. So yeah, so this is something that I'm about to do, and I can share with you some potential things that I'm going to explore. Okay, so this one is called object detection for different phases with YOLO 8. Okay, so let's dive into this one. So this is in Kango. Yeah, what this do is that you can see it pretty much tells you everything. For example, like PIMP. Yeah, you need to install Ultra Analytics, right? Yeah, so once you install, this is just, the terminal thing. you can start using create a Python script, right, and import all those cool stuff. And if you didn't have those, you need to install. Okay, so what this site is train 6 celebrities. I think maybe 6 or 3. I think 3. Okay, so train a couple of celebrities, right? And putting their name and labels. I will show you what's inside the folder. This is what I'm going to do next week and swap one of the celebrity with my headshot. And if you subscribe my Patreon, I probably will just give you the link and you can try and follow the um, the I would say follow the instructions online. Yeah, I probably cannot really offer you my personal pictures. That's just yeah, just let you know. Okay, cool. So this one, yeah, you can do this. Okay, start training. And you can see the confidence level. Yeah, they have like 6 celebrities. Yeah, you can see those things. And the more you train, the more confidence towards position towards one, right? So I think this is a very good precising and recall confidence. Yeah, confidence. So you can see it's all approach to one at the end. Yeah. Mm. Okay, so if you see what's the inputs, yeah, inputs, you need to put the images. They have 90 files for training this model. And image sets, labels, label config. So if you see how they train this model, they pretty much put 90 images. So for example, if you see this, it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably 15. 15 of a celebrity's photos, right? So you can see a lot more, right? Celebrity is easy because I think a celebrity, all their photos is public and they have different angles and tons of information online. You can definitely train your personal, right? If you like, for me, what I'm thinking is that I have so many photos, then I can just upload. You can also do that as well. So for example, like those, right? So they train 6 celebrities, and you need to see they have a special way to name their file. So if you swap your images using this AI training model, you probably need to kind of make sure your file is doing the right thing. Okay, so let's go back to inputs. This image sets. Yeah, you can see this is kind of the data set, right? And then labels. Need to investigate all those numbers. So just to see what's going on. And then inputs, let's just dive into each files. Colors. Yeah, so names, right? So all those like need to start using this model to train. And then outcome, can see outcome is something like this, right? Logs. Yeah, still have a lot of fun stuff to learn. And hopefully there's some cool stuff can be find out, and the entire result of this project I will show on AWE, which is super cool. Yeah, so I don't know the answer, and we will figure out along the way. Okay, any questions? I'm kind of taking questions, or anybody wanna jump in, type their thoughts, anything? I'm trying to make it interactive. If not, let's see. Let me get it. Okay, if not, then thank you so much for watching. And next week, what I will do is, oh, yeah, but I can share with you, this is like last night. I used the last week's training and trying to um, kind of record my actual environment. So this can serve as a live webcam, and it can pretty much do all the image recognition. So this works. So for webcam or live streaming, it works. So that's what I just want to share with you. My plan for next week and the following weeks, I want to create a project. And at the end, it will show up at AWE stage. Okay, cool. So thank you so much for watching. And every Saturday around 11, I would say 11 o'clock, we will start a new podcast series. So just get your coffee or get some snacks, and later on, stay tuned in XReality Pro channel, and you will see another brand new series of podcasts interviewing other industry leaders and show everybody a way to create a new product integrate with your current existing studios like spatial AI. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I will see you pretty soon. Bye bye.